Dun dun. So here we are again. Here I am. I'm going to show my workflow when it comes to importing images from a camera as raw files into a computer. So we've got Lightroom open here. There's no images. We're going to import. And the import dialog box shows up, and we have, how many images do we have? We have 254 images. So we're going to take these images in. We're going to copy them as DNG right off the bat as DNGs. Adobe's smart. We're dumb. We work from top left to the right and work from the top to the bottom. So we're taking them in from our media card here. We're bringing them in as a DNG, and we're taking them over to our destination folder, which by default on this laptop is my picture folder. Checking all that, all the thumbnails are checked. We don't import suspected duplicates. We're going to rename the files. We're going to rename the files as per our template, which for me is my initials, then the date, then the sequence number from the actual files, the original files. So at least I carry that bit of originality from the original files over to the DNGs that I'll be copying over. Metadata, for this point, we'll be taking it in as 2017 as Northern Ireland, and everything else is going to stay the same. So let's import them. And I'll come back to you in a second once they're imported and converted to DNGs. All right, so we have brought in our entire media card, which had 254 images. When we were ingesting them, we converted them to DNGs. So they're all here. They're all here as raw files, but as Adobe DNGs. So we're saving about a third of our file space with them being DNGs. We've renamed them on the ingest with my name, the initials for my company, the date, and then the sequence number as it was on the card when it was shot. So with all that said and done, we have these 254 images. What are we going to do with them? Well, some of them I want in one collection, and some of them I want in a different collection. I want to separate them. They don't all need to be together. But I am not going to divide them up physically on my computer. I'm going to do this all within Lightroom. So I'm not going to touch the Finder. I'm going to do this within Lightroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create collections. So I have this person here on a beach with a horse. And there's a few landscape photos. And it looks like a landscape panorama. And some images of a railing. Cool. So I think those images I want to create as a collection. So I'm going to create a new collection from those photos, and I'm going to name them the location where I shot them. Actually, first I'm going to name them the year, 2017 in this case, dash the location, Port Rush, and then just generally describing the situation. Beach. Not anything more than that. I don't need to go into big names, anything like that. We have ticked here included selected photos. It's not going to go inside a collection set because I haven't created a collection set. I can do that later and drag this collection inside a new collection set. But for now, it's just going to be by itself. Hit create. Over here, we have 2017 Portrush beach, and here are those beach images. Great. Physically, they haven't moved. So if I go to Show in Finder, you'll see that there's 254 images in this folder. Those beach images are still in with all the other images that we took in on the ingest. So great. Lightroom is doing what it needs to do. We're not messing around with anything else. We're doing it all within Lightroom. We go back to our previous import and we scroll down a bit. We go past the railing shot, and here we have the village. There's a few underexposed images there. Then we see some waves. And then if you can pick that out, there's a surfer in there. So we've got a lot of surfing shots here. Oh, and there he is. He's walking up to the shore. So we're going to take all those and we're going to right click again, and we're going to go, we're going to go over here to the left side of our library module, and we're going to create a new collection, and we're going to call this Surfer. So 2017 Portrush Surfer. And that's all we need. We don't need to go into great depths with how we're going to describe this. And we are definitely not going to rename our files. We're not going to rename this file so that it says Surfer 5378. That's not what we want to do. We want to keep things totally consistent. Because if you go from folder to folder to folder to folder to folder, it's always going to say RDP with the date and a number. Because our clients, if our clients start getting images that say surfer, beach, horse, this, that, they don't know who they got it from. When I get an email request later that says RDP, Rob Durston photo, dash 2017, okay, that's me. I know it's coming to me. It's my image with my date. I know what date it's on. And then I just need to find the sequence number. It's very, very, very easy. So now I have two separate collections with two separate sort of scenarios. I have a beach scenario with the horse walking on the beach, and I have a surfer scenario. If I want to go in now at this point, I can go in and give some specific keywords. You know, I can select some images and I can say surf, cold water surf, and whatever. And I can apply those to that. So further down the road, I can search by keywords for specific items, whether it's water, surf, cold water surf, or just surf, or even Portrush. We can do all that with this. So I have this entire import now brought in by DNG, renamed with the sequence number off the card. I put them into two separate collections, and that's it. I have not at this point created any previews because for me, I still want to tweak it a bit before I look at the previews. So I might take this selection. I can just randomly take a selection here from starting here, roughly. I can go down to when maybe the sky started to break a little bit, probably in there. Select one, go up to Quick Develop, hit my space bar, bring it up full screen, and go, you know what? It needs another stop of light. Bring down the highlights a little bit. A couple of clicks there. Open up the midtones. Bring down the blacks tiny bit. And you can see down here on the film strip, there's my selection. And because I'm in the library mode, all of those are going to change from all my corrections. And I can go down now and do another batch. I can take this batch and do some stuff to it. Do roughly the same or close to it. Bump up the contrast a bit. So I've done all that. I've corrected all these roughly global corrections to where I want them to be. Go up to library, scroll down to previews, build one-to-one previews. Let this do its business. Go have a coffee, come back, and now I'll be able to do a proper rough edit of what I want. What's in focus, what's not in focus, what is totally out of frame, whatever. So now we have ingested them, we've renamed them, converted them to DNGs, we've put them in a couple of collections, we've created one-to-one previews, and now we can work on them. So now at this point, we'll bring them in to our develop module, D on the keyboard. Bring down some highlights, open up some shadows, pull down some blacks, pull up the contrast, whatever we want to do. What personally I do at this point is if I really like one particular image, I've got 4 images here. So if I select all 4 images, hit N on the keyboard, and I look at them and I go, well, these 3 are underexposed. They show the nice silhouette of the railing, but I still like this one here. So that's the one I'm going to keep. That's the one I want to select. So I give that a 1-star rating. So I hit 1 on the keyboard and it's 1 star. If perhaps the second one here was totally out of focus and really wasn't interested in it, I would hit X on the keyboard and set it as rejected. So it shows a little rejected flag up there. This one here, the one that I liked, has a 1-star rating. And at this point, that's all I would do. If I had something personally, if I had something like a panoramic, you can see here there's this really wide, gaping panoramic shot on a 70mm. If I had something like this and I wanted to keep it all together, I might use a color label. So I might hit 6 on the keyboard and give them all a red label so that I knew that they were all grouped together, and 6, the red label, is usually my panoramic. So there we go. Something like this here, if I was submitting this to a client and they liked this out of the other 4 that I might have submitted to them, they said, hey, you know, we like 53, 71, that's the one we want to pick. Great. I hit P on the keyboard and it's their pick. Up comes a white little flag and that's the pick. And it's as simple as that. I don't necessarily get into 2-star ratings, 3-star ratings, 4-star ratings, or 5-star ratings. I don't get into necessarily, you know, different colors of groupings. You can, definitely, you can do all that. but keep it really, really simple. Adobe is not here to complicate things. They're trying to make your life simpler. So let them ingest the files when you import it as per their template, and do all your corrections simply, do all your previews simply, do all your global corrections, and then all your finite corrections, submit them to the client, and keep it all nice and simple and tight. Don't go off into your Finder and start creating new folders and dragging images into new folders and moving stuff around. So if I drag this file into that folder, and then I go up here and I scroll down, look at that. There's my exclamation mark, because I did a boo-boo. Photo is missing. I need to go find that photo or move it back to the proper location where it was originally ingested to, and then find the folder. Either way, please do everything within Lightroom. It just keeps things very simple. You can see here 254 images were ingested 2017-11/28. That's about it. That is my simple workflow for ingesting media cards. I'll come back to you in the future with the way that I ingest images on location. And other than that, it's Sunday night. And after this, I need a beer. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for listening.